What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're in the booth and we are going to be spraying aerosol cans. So let's go. What's up guys? Today we are going to be running through some do's and don'ts on spraying aerosol cans. So aerosol cans in body and paint and repair are very common. You can get them at any hardware store, Canadian Tire, Princess Auto, Harbor Freight, and all your stores. So biggest thing is that I've seen is that people don't understand how to utilize them correctly. They're a great product, a really convenient product, and we see it time and time again is that people just misuse the application process of it. And it's primarily because we're rushing through it and we're not being patient. So today we're going to run through a couple things. We're going to run through an etch primer. We're going to run through a gloss black that you would probably see in your hardware store, and adhesion promoter because we have this spare bumper that we're working with here as well, okay? Aerosol cans, you're like, yeah, I use them all the time. I have great success.
Great success.
Yes, you do, but lots of people don't. So we've got a little repair here. We've broken through on that paint. We've got some plastic showing through. So what we're gonna wanna do is just a nice light coat. That's all we need, one little blast, and that's gonna set that up. So this is where that patience is gonna come into play. We can see how that's flashed off very quickly. You're gonna wanna make sure that you get the whole thing. Now we don't need to worry about this overspray around here. That's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna melt into that, no problemo. Once we let that set up, we're gonna let that set up for probably, I think, 5 minutes on this one before top coating. You can definitely check that TDS sheet. So if you're looking, you can just look at your manufacturer, the product, and if you look, you'll actually have a stock code up here. Punch that into Google, and it'll give you a little, and put TDS behind it, and that will give you a full document on your dry times, flash times, and top coat times. So that's gonna give you everything you need to know online so that you can make sure that that timing is set up properly, because that is the #1 thing where we misstep in our applications is not following those times. And it's just because we don't know them. We look and see that it's dry, but it really hasn't, all of that solvent hasn't evaporated. And that's where the overuse comes in with these cans. So we're gonna shake it up nice and good. You can hear that ball rattling. I think they want you to have that ball rattling for about 2 minutes, which is a long time when you're just standing there shaking it, and we're just going to give a nice. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen that I've done something here and how we've applied that's not normally how you would do it. So that's exactly how you're gonna want that first coat to look. You're gonna still see through the repair. It's not gonna look covered. You don't want that. That's your first coat. So now we need to let that solvent evaporate. Okay, and depending on where you are, if you're outside, if you're in your driveway, your garage, is it summertime? Are you down in the southern states where we've got a lot of heat and humidity? Are you up in Canada or in the northern states and it's winter time? So temperature is going to be a big factor for how this is going to dry up, okay? Here's our first mistake is typically we'll start to just keep going at that until that's covered. So we'll just kind of show, now we've got coverage. Well, that's what we normally would do, and that is going to cause us potential for problems down the road, or even maybe not even down the road. Once we put our paint on top of that, that's going to just it's just going to wrinkle up, and it's going to look really bad, and you're going to be mad and angry. So this is the patience aspect of using aerosols for those small repairs at your house, or in your shop, or on your hot rod, or your guitar, or whatever. If we have another 5 minutes, and again, we're gonna speed this up because we're doing it live here and we don't wanna keep everybody, for all this time. So now we're gonna come in, we're gonna put another coat on that, and now we're starting to get coverage, okay? So, and you can see that just, there's actually, I'm not sure if you can see it in the camera, but there is a bit of a difference here, just even how this is applied. That's just, and this is still wet. This is already starting to dry up really nice. So we're going to leave that. So in between coats, you're going to leave it 5 minutes, okay? Your typical etch primer or aerosol primer is going to want a flash time for 5 minutes, okay? So you're going to apply a coat, nice and light, and you're going to slowly build up that coverage, okay? And this is, again, where that patience comes into play. So we've sprayed one coat, we've let that sit for 5 minutes, okay? We've sprayed our second coat, we're going to let that sit for 5 minutes as well. Now, we're going to speed those times up for you guys here today. We're almost covered. Now, one thing I'll bring up is we're kind of covered. You can see that repair a little bit here. And if you sanded that, you're going to sand a lot of that primer sort of right off. It's not going to. So we're going to put one more coat on so that we've got enough primer. So we're going to come in. Now you can see we've got lots of coverage there, okay? So, and here we're still kind of, right? And this is the thing, when we want to come in, that's kind of typically how we would sort of normally do it, where we think we're getting lots of body and lots of build, but we're over applying that product. And what we'll do is trap solvent in, and the solvents in these aerosols can actually be really aggressive when it'll bite into that bottom layer or bite into a small repair like we had with our adhesion, adding our adhesion promoter. So we've got our 3 coats on. We're gonna let that dry for 15 minutes minimum, okay? The longer you can let that dry, the better. I mean, so even if you gotta go away for a half hour or something, go have lunch or, you know, go sit down, have a drink. But this is where the patience, again, will come in, is allowing that to dry, especially if you're going to give it a light scuff or sand before you apply any primer or any top coat on that. Okay, guys, we've got this other spot on the back side here to speed things up a little bit that we've applied previously. That has set for a little bit and it's allowed to dry. So I just have a gray scuff pad here. That's really all you're going to need, especially with a small etch primer, just to give it a little bit of a sand. You don't really have to worry too much about really getting aggressive with a high grit or low grit sandpaper. So once you're into this, getting ready for paint, you're going to want to use something in the neighborhood of 600 or 800 to sand that primer. You're not getting a lot of build and fill with an aerosol primer, okay? So it's very important to kind of remember that as well. So if you're going to use a 320 or 240 grit sandpaper, you're going to sand a lot of that off by the time you work through your grits. So even just a gray scuff pad is going to be plenty for that. Now, for the black aerosol that we have for here, we can see that there's a little bit of a difference on the spray nozzle, okay? So this one here is from Spray Max. And this little red thing on top, we can see a little dial at the back, is going to be that fan size. So these aerosols actually offer a fan pattern and adjustment for that. So just be on the lookout for that. If you see that little red tab, just make sure it'll tell you which way is big, open, and which one's closed. Okay, guys? It's just on the top there. So, and then again, now, applying, not... we want to be cautious, okay? We want to be nice and uniform and even, but we don't want to be heavy. We don't want to get coverage on the first coat because that's a big misconception. All right, so we're going to apply our first coat here, guys. So we can now see, right through that. We're not looking for full coverage on our first coat. All we want is a nice uniform coat. We can still see through it, that's fine. This is where that patience is going to come into play, and we can see that solvent's evaporating quite quickly because we're in a temperature controlled booth. So, and we've got good air movement across it, but that's why that's evaporating. And we can actually see that in real time, that solvent is actually slowly evaporating. And this is what we want to see, guys. You want to see that solvent evaporate. You want to see that sort of gloss go down a little bit and then slowly build that up, okay? So it could take, depending on the color and the color of your primer, we could be 3 to 5 coats, right? And it's better to do 3, 4, or 5 nice thin coats versus hammering on 2 really, really wet coats to get coverage like we were doing over here, all right? So we'll see a difference. We'll do a quick. So we don't want to see that. That's going to give us some issues going forward. We can see it's really heavy, whether we end up with runs or whether we end up with that paint biting into that primer underneath. And it's also going to take much longer to dry. So we can see this one is actually coming along. Now, I'm going to increase our flash time because we're not looking for holdout on this. But guys, you're going to want to leave this from about 5 to 7 minutes in between each coat if you're actually doing the repair on your car. So now we come in, and now we've got a nice gloss black. So that's 2 coats. We're starting to see coverage. Maybe sunshine, you'll see through that if the sun's shining into it. And because we're using black, we're going to gain coverage a lot quicker, okay, guys? If you're painting your color with a red or a blue, you might not see coverage this quick. So just keep an eye out for that. Slow it down. Make sure that you're allowing that to dry. So like I said, 5 to 7 minutes in between each coat, allowing that to dry, and then allowing it to dry for about 20 to 30 minutes after you're done, okay, before you move on to the next step. Now we can discuss a little bit about what type of paint we're actually using. Are we using just a base coat, clear coat system? Are we using just an enamel, 1K enamel system in an aerosol? Keep an eye out for that. Make sure you read your cans. If you're using a base coat and a clear coat, then you're going to want to make sure that that base is dry for at least 15 minutes before you apply your top coat of your clear coat. If it's just a 1K enamel, which is just what this is from Spray Max, then that's going to be your finished coat. You don't need to apply a clear coat on top of that. So you're going to want to let that dry for about 30 minutes. If it does say high gloss, with an aerosol, it's not going to get a super high gloss finished look like clear coat is going to give you. It's going to have a bit of more of a semi sort of satiny finish to it, depending on what brand you get, okay? So just keep a lookout for that, guys. And again, patience, 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 patience. Slow down, apply thinner coats, a few more of them, making sure you allow those flash times in between. And if you ever stumble or running into any issue, or if you need more information, Google brand, there's a part number, and put TDS in behind it, and that will get you all of the information you need to know for your flash times and your dry times. All right, guys? So hope this helps. Get out there, do your repairs, and now you can be successful with that, and you can love aerosols because they're a great product, guys. Don't forget, we have Back Corner Studio Series. It is our own branded aerosol cans. You can jump over to the website, you can pick it up. We offer a full line of custom colors. We've got custom base coats, custom candies, and 2-coat clear coats and primers. So head on over to the website, check that out, Back Corner Studio Series, and you can do all your own custom paint at home in your garage.